Hi, it's me Leo, back again with another car review, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the 2023 Mazda CX-5 SUV. So in this video we're going to review the CX-5 SUV from Mazda. We're going to have a look around the exterior, the interior, and we're going to take it for a test drive. So hopefully you enjoy, and if you do enjoy, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get on with it. So we're going to start off with the exterior design. There was a facelift in 2017 with some minor changes. This is the 2023 model. Got the quite nice plastic grille, and then we have a large Mazda badge, some sensors inside here. The headlights do look quite nice, but from the front I actually think this is quite a nice looking car. I haven't got any complaints. The only thing I've noticed is I've driven it on grass and it doesn't look very high up. Like for an SUV, this ground clearance is pretty poor. In terms of size of SUV, this is like a medium-large SUV. So this is the central line. Oh, it's not central line, that's a freaking medical thing. Yeah, I've had to check it. So this is the center line package, which I think means the bottom spec or bottom trim level of Mazda. So this has the 17-inch alloys. So basically trim-wise, this is as basic as you're gonna get. You've got these. But it does mean that it has got quite thick tires, which is gonna be good for a ride. It's got disc brakes all around. The side profile of this car is actually quite sleek. Looks like an SUV, doesn't it? I think the rear end of this car looks quite nice. So we've got these headlights, which actually do look quite nice. You either like it or you don't like the design, to be honest. It's got the E-Active G, which is the engine that this car has. And then it's got the CX-5 badging. Imagine if it said MX-5, I'd be so happy. I wanted to drive an MX-5, but I got given this by accident. It's got two exhausts, so it does look a little bit sporty actually. We've got two exhausts. I would say two exhausts that are far apart are more sporty than two exhausts that are close together. And then we've got the Mazda badge. It's quite a large Mazda badge. We're going to compare it to my phone. Quite a big Mazda badge. So this car has a bit of a silver accent around the door, like so. And then it's got electric wing mirrors, which kind of fold in when you turn the car off.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell.
One thing I do want to show you is that an important part of buying a car is the key. I do want to say this is quite a rubbish feeling key. It does feel very plasticky. Don't know if you can hear that, it just feels quite cheap and plasticky, and I'm not a fan of kind of the materials it's made out of. It's just like a plastic that's become very scratched. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this. I believe there is a manual key inside here somewhere. So, oh, and yep, the keys come into two pieces. But yeah, when you are starting the ignition, all you have to do is have the key in the car. You don't need to pop it in any slots or use the key to turn it on. Coming on to the price of this car, the base model starts around £30,000. I'll pop the exact price from the Mazda website on the screen right now so you can see. Next, we're going to have a look at the engine. If I can remember how to lift the bonnet. Bonnet releases in here, I think. There we go, we're in the bonnet. One thing I've noticed, it's not a strutted or piston bonnet, so if I let go, this will just slam down. So it's a bit of an old-fashioned. You have to hook this into here. So yeah, here we have the bonnet. So this is the Sky Active E. This is a 2-litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine that outputs about 162 horsepower, I believe, and about 250 Newton meters of torque. 160 horsepower in SUV is not the same as 160 horsepower in small light hatchback. And it's also naturally aspirated, so you have to get the revs quite high to actually feel power. So anything below about 3,000 RPM, this just feels a bit sluggish. So yeah, that's the engine. It is a little bit disappointing. I don't even think it's a very economical engine. I think we're getting about 35 to maybe 40 on the motorway miles per gallon. So that's the Sky Active Mazda 2-litre 4-cylinder. So we are inside the car now. Fabric seats, as this is the base model version of this car. So nothing fancy when it comes to the seats. Fake leather steering wheel, but it does feel quite nice actually. This is a 6-speed manual. We'll test out the gearbox when we take this car for a drive. Keyless start, so you just have to have the key either in your pocket or you can pop it down here and then use this start button to turn the engine on and turn the car on. Even the base spec version of this car comes with a 10-inch infotainment screen. It's not a touch screen. You do have to use this dial down here. So you rotate that and then you can move it up and down to kind of use it. And it comes with navigation. I believe this is as standard. From what I've used so far, the navigation seems okay, but it's not quite as good as like Google Maps. I believe you can hook your phone up for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but there aren't any settings to change the kind of driving modes, like something you get in a more sporty car. It has dual zone climate control, and this is quite nice because it's all physical buttons. It's not in the infotainment screen. Yeah, and then it's the handbrake, which I'm not a massive fan of, is one of these buttons, but a lot of cars these days have an electronic handbrake. One thing I have found is the indicators do feel quite satisfying. These are quite nice. Got a little knocking sound. And because it's the base spec, it doesn't have any fancy speakers. I wouldn't say the sound system on this car in its most basic form is that good. Got a mirror there, a little pocket. Another mirror on the passenger side with a light that turns on and off, which is quite nice. Got handles on both sides. Material wise, this is all like cloth padded on the roof. This is all soft touch. It feels like leather. I'm not sure if it is real leather, probably some fake leather, but it is slightly soft touch. Stitching along here, which is quite nice, and then got metal around the air vents. Yeah, they don't feel too flimsy on either side. Glove box, pretty average glove box, nothing special in here. Soft touch below the air vents, and then it becomes a scratchy sort of plastic, so this is not particularly nice. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, scratchy around the center console. It's textured like fake leather, but it's just hard plastic behind here, and then soft touch on top of this little compartment. And inside here we have, so right here we have a little compartment with a little tray that you can take out. There's quite a lot of space in here actually, and we've got two USB-Cs for charging, and then one of those old barrel connectors for charging as well. I'm discovering new things every day. Let's have a look what this is. An SD card. I'm not sure what that's for. That might be for like loading software updates onto the car or songs. I have no idea why it's got an SD card in there. Probably should have done my research before doing this video. So we have two cup holders with these little spring-loaded things to kind of keep it secure. The infotainment dials around here with the volume. Just turn on radio 4. And then a little compartment here where you can just put stuff. And then a little barrel connector in there so you can charge stuff. So all the infotainment stuff's on your left-hand side, and then you've got lane assist, you've got cruise control. You can set from this side of the steering wheel, and then there's some more buttons down here so you can turn off the stop-start, parking sensors, and lane assist. So there is actually quite a nice padding on these doors. It does feel quite soft touch, and then fabric here, and then scratchy down where the door bin is, and then a speaker. You've got your electric windows here, so you can, and they go all the way down, which is always good to see. They are quite wide, these door bins, so I'm happy with them, but they are very shallow, so that's how deep they are. So this is the back of the car. As you can see, it still has, just chuck that out of the way. It's still got these fabric seats, and have a look at space. So leg room in this car is actually very good. Leg room in the back's good, headroom's good. Little pocket here so you can put stuff, which is pretty standard. Yeah, and then the door bins in the back, they're a little bit smaller than in the front, but it is enough just to hold like a water bottle. The electric windows, do these go all the way? No, these don't go all the way down, by the way. There's not much more here. It's got handles on both sides to get in and out, which is always good. Is there a lot of space in the middle? Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, this isn't terrible. 3 smaller adults in the back, no problem. And then it's got your little climate vents at the back. Pretty standard as well. I'm not surprised. I'd be kind of disappointed if it didn't have that. Have a look at the boot now. It has a 522 litre boot. It should have quite a lot of space. Fairly big boot. I'm able to sit inside the boot. No load lip, but I do believe you can. Yep, and there's a little bit of space underneath here for a tyre or whatever you want to put in. And it comes with this load cover. Yeah, there's not really anywhere to put this though, so you can either leave it inside your house or on the floor of the boot. The boot's alright actually, isn't it? It's not tiny. This one here as well. They flick the seats forward. Barrel connector if you want to charge anything in the boot. like a buzzing sound that comes from the car that I have noticed. There's been occasions where I've had to sit in the car just with the radio on, but I have noticed there is a buzzing sound that comes from outside the car. I can hear it right now. I don't know if this mic's picking it up. Yeah, it just sounds like a very, very weak electric motor just kind of whirring. When your foot isn't on the clutch, that's orange. It means you can't start the engine. You put the clutch down and then that turns green. Then it's not a particularly quiet engine, especially when it's idling. But it is fairly smooth. It's not like there's any vibration coming through the steering wheel. The gears on this car feel quite nice actually. I'm going to go down to second gear and try and accelerate. Right, this car does pull okay in second and third gear, but we're going to put it on a bit of a quicker road now. Yeah, so we've got the maps. Yeah, when you're in sixth gear, this car just doesn't accelerate. I'm not sure why they didn't put a turbo in it. So handling, it's got a very light steering compared to some other cars. It feels like an SUV, like you're quite high up, you're not super connected to the road. I can imagine on long journeys this would feel quite comfortable, but as like a driver-focused car, it's not the most engaging. As I've noticed, I have to kind of downshift a couple of gears, maybe down to third or fourth, if I do want to accelerate at a decent pace. There's not a whole lot of road noise. Let's try this. This is a 50 mile an hour. Trying to get up to 50, third gear. Yeah, we're at 50 miles an hour then. Off the top of my head, it's got a 0 to 60 time of about 10 seconds, so it really isn't a very quick car. Right, let's accelerate out of a roundabout. This isn't a fast car. I don't think anyone's going to buy this because of its performance. I'd say the 2-litre petrol kind of gets by as like the bare minimum power that you would expect from a car this size. Oh, wasn't happy there, was it? The car's screaming at me. It's absolutely screaming at me. I can't see anything behind me. I presume there is something behind me. Right, let's go. Let's hope there's no one else. So, to conclude this video, this is the Mazda CX-5 2023. It is a mid to large size SUV that has 162 brake horsepower, 2-litre 4-cylinder engine with no turbocharger, and it costs around £30,000 if you to buy it brand new. The interior seems fairly nice, but it does drive a bit sluggish, especially with this 2-litre version of the engine. But even the base spec comes with a fairly decent 10-inch infotainment screen, 522-litre boot, so the boot's pretty decent if you're considering it. Hopefully this has been a little bit informative. And hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in my next video.